Welcome to Vlogmas day 23. We are rushing to pick up packages and grabbing things. I started this vlog actually yesterday, wrapping my presents. To wrap a present you need a good movie. I was watching something from Tiffany's, and you need tape. I have double-sided tape and I have the invisible tape. I should also have used normal tape, but I didn't want to look for it. And here is the wrapping paper. So to start, I'm gonna start with a book. That's my doggy, and we're gonna remove the price. Always remove the price. And then we're gonna take the roll of paper and we're gonna measure. One of the things is that this is a thicker roll of paper. It's a good one. I really like working with it because sometimes the American paper is super thin and it cracks for some reason. So if you have American gift wrap like from Target, Walmart and everything, just be extra careful so you don't crack your paper. I used to work in a stationery shop when I was a teenager, and literally I would wrap gifts all day during Christmas Eve, so I know my stuff. So once you measure twice, you have only to cut once, and then still you have to verify. You want the ends of the paper to reach beyond halfway of the book width, but you don't want to go beyond that. So this is me measuring. One side's correct, the other one is a little bit too long, and then I trim. You see? I'm measuring again. Once that's done, I correct, I cut the extra paper, and then I can start pasting the different things. To paste, I use double-sided tape on the gift wrap, not the actual book. I remove the protective cover and then I put the other paper on top. I do not use any kind of tape on books, so I try to use double-sided tape, which is more sturdy, to protect actually the book. Then you are going to mark your folds like it's origami. I really recommend to do gift wrapping on a table or elevated surface. So if you are doing it standing up, your surface has to be very high so you don't get hurt while wrapping gifts. That's an actual thing. So once I mark my folds, then I can use double-sided tape again to tape it onto the gift wrap again. I'm not touching the gift. That's a rookie mistake. If you do touch with the gift with the tape, you can damage it, especially if it's books. I do recommend using invisible tape if it is like, for example, something very disposable. You will see later when I'm wrapping sort of a gift card that I will do it. And then here you see, it's perfect. It's perfectly folded. Now this is the next part in which I start to mark again the folding. I grab again double-sided tape, and once I have marked and I have the tape on place, then I fold. I call this the envelope fold, and since we are not completely all the way to the top, I don't have to use any kind of scissors right now. That's another rookie mistake, like cutting the extra paper when you are folding the ends of the gift wrapping. It makes for a very messy cut. So I measure twice, cut the size with time, make sure I go beyond the half of the width of the gift but not over it, and it's perfect. For flatter surfaces, this is like I think it was a gift card. I do use invisible tape because I know that the base is disposable, but that's the only time in which I touch it, and even then I use double-sided tape to put one end over the other. If you don't have double-sided tape, I would use Scotch tape because Scotch tape is completely transparent and you wouldn't be able to see it. But if you do that, keep in mind it's wrapping paper with wrapping paper. You never touch the gift. Now, for this kind of gifts that are very flat, you cannot do like I did before, the fold. So I do what I call a triangle. So it's like when you were making a little house or a boat when you were a kid with using paper. So you're going to fold the ends into each other like this. You see the little triangle? And I'm gonna do the same with the other side and make sure that my ends are very clean and neat. Look, triangle, triangle, and we fold in together and make sure that we don't see any of the white when you place it on the end. Here it is okay to trim because it's pretty much very flat, and then you can just tape in place. Like I mentioned, here I should have used a Scotch tape. I didn't want to look for it, so now that I have made sure I don't see any of the white part, I am going to set it in place. When you are using this kind of invisible tape, you have to scratch the surface once you put it in place, so you're not able to see it. So this is me putting it in place and scratch, scratch, scratch. You're gonna hurt your fingernails if you are doing a ton of presents. So I usually use the end of the scissors for that, not the pointy end, but the base. And then instead of using gift tags, what I'm using this year, I'm using some washi tape that I found, which was very festive and very cheap, from Tiger, which is sort of a gift shop that we have in town. But yeah, so I used some washi tape that I really like because the colors were amazing. It was a little bit transparent, so you will see me doing several layers until I get the pop of color that I want. But yeah, even though I used to sell gift tags, it was always a mess. And then if they are adhesive, like, I don't know, I'm not that convinced whether I can reuse these tapes later on my own journals. So I decided, let's do it with washi tape this time around. So here you can see that I can still see the wrapping paper surface, so I did a second layer and that was more than enough. And of course, because it's a little bit of a washi tape, well, it's a budget washi tape, I was having some issues finding the end of it. So here we find the end, paste over the first layer and cut. So yeah, it was a very, very good solution and it looked amazing. Now that you have it in place, you can write the recipient's name using a Sharpie. And another pro tip, you have to let the Sharpie dry, otherwise it's gonna look very messy. But yeah, this is it. I did notice I was running out of paper, so I decided that the next day, which was today, I would have to go and check out some stores. And our first stop was Bauhaus. This is a decoration store and they had everything for Christmas 60% off. So I did consider getting this tree, the hologram tree. I really like the color, but then I picked that up and it was plastic. So even though I like the idea, I think if it was like glass or I don't know, even metal, it would be better, because that particular kind of holographic plastic, at least back in the day, it would turn yellow after 2 or 3 years, so it's pretty much very disposable, and I didn't like that. As you can see, people were going through everything because of course they wanted to get things that were on sale, but it was very, very crowded and I'm trying to stay away from everyone, but it was so hard because it was very, very full. And one of the things that you will notice is like, and here we go. So when you go to these kinds of stores on these dates, it gets very, very rowdy. So the hall itself was super small, and this is me looking again at that holographic tree and decide again, yeah, it's not worth it, even if it is 70% off, because I'm gonna end up throwing it away in just a couple of years. But they had a lot of lights, they had a lot of Christmas tree decorations, they had all kinds of colors, it was very nice. They had glitter, bubbles, they had all kinds of different kind of ornaments, but it was very interesting to just go around and see what people were buying. They really like to put like this kind of lit icicles and also candles So I was just trying to find something special. In the end, I ended up buying only a bag to put my fake Christmas tree in storage. So probably I will be able to throw the current box, but I'm still not sure. I will see, because we had this doubt whether the tree would fit or not, because it was, I think, 1 meter and 20 centimeters the bag, and my tree is a bit taller. And they also had some presents, and then I was able to go to Virukeskus, and this is me trying to make my way through the store. It felt like when the Grinch stole Christmas, the scene from the Who's, and they were like going like crazy, and this is me like trying to find my way to the wrapping paper because I was running out. And then of course I got distracted because I really like journaling and I like to take notes, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I should treat myself and get one of these Moleskine. But actually, one of my favorite notebooks is from Tiger because they are super flexible. There is another brand that I was looking, you can see it on my far left, that I really like because it has also very flexible covers. But yeah, it was super full and busy, so I just stopped there to see what was new. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should really get a notebook. In the end, I grabbed one. You can see me like here trying to grab one of those notebooks, but luckily for me, there was a piece of wrapping paper on top of that notebook, and I remember, oh yeah, I need to get wrapping paper. So I left and made my way to the wrapping paper station that I showed you, I think, a long time ago now, almost 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, I was just looking because I remember they had like very similar colors to the paper that I got, but there was this issue that I didn't take into account until I was almost buying it, which was the length. This wrapping paper, this is me realizing that this wrapping paper is only 3 meters long or 10 feet, which is nothing. So I decided to skip it, and finally I made my way to the mail and pick up my package, and that's it.